Greeting, fellow being beyond the fourth wall, also known as YouTube. I'm hoping you have an awesome day. If not, you can change it. So, kind of delayed this one a little bit and had to collect my thoughts. A couple days ago, there was a Facebook posting in regards to game control. This is outside of the usual console. But first, let's open another episode of Things You're Not Supposed to Talk About, which is by far right now one of my favorite playlists right now. Couple disclaimers before I get started. We're not going to have this console war, PlayStation better than Xbox, Nintendo. I like Xbox. I have no problem with them at all. Any other consoles, the game exclusivity is like the worst microtransaction out there. But that's beside the point. Lo and behold, we have another. I'm not quite sure if it was for a PC or a console. There's another parental control program for consoles. It's like, got a couple of problems with that. I believe, don't quote me on that because I just said I believe, even all the way back to the original Xbox, or what I like to call the black box, they had some sort of parental control. Granted, it's not as exacting as the current generation is. I'll have to wait until I get the next one, or until my current one, craps out. But yeah, there's 4 buttons on the right hand side, plus the 4 on the control on the trigger, plus the omnidirectional. Yep, it's on there. You can use the code, and then you go to the setting and allow or disallow a certain amount of time on your console. You know what, on PlayStation, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm fairly certain you guys have the same thing as well as Nintendo. I don't see the absolute need for outside programs that you can add on to, like I said, I'm not sure if it's on PC. It probably is on PC. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I'm sure even PC had those sort of controls nowadays. And my main beef is with the parent. Now, the gaming industry has what we call a rating system. It's not required that most of the AAA games are rated, and I'm sure by a strict standard. I don't fall under that category, but I think the parents need to do the research before they allow their kids to purchase certain games. Now, also, that has to do with maturity level as well. And the main thing is you gotta have the limit on the playtime, because let's just face it, even I'm addicted for a while. Now, my Xbox plays possum on me right now, so once I get that working again, I don't want to hit it with a hammer, physically or spiritually speaking. But yeah, it can suck the time out of you. You need to have a social life outside of, sorry with the hand thing, outside of the Xbox or whatever console you have, balance life, everything in moderation. Um, but every time I see a barrage of let's control games, it's like, oh, awesome. I'm all for that. But can we all, before we start hammering on the little computer or whatever, all the console debate through computer, can we start with gambling, like with the casinos? Now, I realize they are regulated to a point, but here's an awesome idea. Let's have a fairly large section of the building off for gambling addiction, all the way from the slot machine to the little touchscreen that they have nowadays to the roulette wheel and whatever card game that you have on site. That would be considered social responsibility. I realize that's a rather big word. Basically, it's correcting a problem that you are bound to moral and ethical side of the business. Now, I realize with the casinos that you have to be 18 or 21. I think it's 21. Varied from state to state. As well as reservation. If they have one. But this is the broad stroke, cover all standpoints. So yeah, next time you see let's go after gamers, and by that I mean PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Let's go after the casinos. That's an interesting thought. I wonder if you can have a steady correlation between these here and the casinos. Who makes more money and who's more socially responsible for when you end up getting addicts to your product. That would be an interesting study. Instead of just destroy this, pick the problem that you may or may not have created. Now, I will admit that some people just can't, or more appropriately, refuse to control their addiction and or habits that had nothing to do with you other than the fact that it can be disruptive and quite frankly I don't understand it, but then again that's not a man understanding, that would be spiritual understanding. And I basically come to that conclusion. It's like, as I usually say during my videos, I love you, but I can't learn it for you. I refuse to hate man. I've hated a particular individual for too long. It's too toxic. So, I would like to have a solution rather than let's attack the gamer. Let's, do more restrictions. It's like, What more restrictions do you want? I mean, perfect example. And guys, back me up on this one, please. It used to be that you could get razors, straight edge or your triple mock, whatever you use for your disposable. You can go to not grocery store. Let's say Sam's Club, okay? Yep, Sam's Club. You could go to Sam's Club and take your razor off the shelf, buy it. Now, some cases, and I find it rather ridiculous, you have to have someone unlock the cage, glass cage for razors. I'm really confused about that. Why are you locking it up? Do you not want us to buy the product? If someone could explain that to me, that would be awesome, because that's kind of like the whole thing with casinos versus consoles. And it's like, okay, we'll let you do this, but we need to put your console in this little box, and you can only play a certain amount of hours without break and so forth. Summing up, consoles already have parental controls on there. If you want the gaming industry to have more stringent control on that, you should be talking to the console company, not the game developer. Those are two separate entities. They have to fill the requirement for the console, graphics, whatever. Two, if you're a casino, you probably should have a proportioned part of the building dedicated for addicts that want to get better. 3, stop being so destructive, and this whole console war needs to come to an end. And the only way that's going to happen is we start telling the developer that you can make the game whatever, but stop doing a microtransaction or I like to call the exclusive DLC that is only for one console. That's great. That's awesome for revenue. But let's just put a proportion of your money, I'm talking specifically to the console industry, for addicts. Just like I said with the casinos, I want an even hand on both sides. Stop trying to kill the monster. Break it into smaller parts. Use your brain. Not always the evil gaming company. Sometimes it's the parents. Sometimes the individual, not the parent, the person using the product, console, or casino, gambling. Sometimes they can't help themselves. Yeah. I loved you, but I can't learn it for you. Believe me, I would if I could. But at this point, I don't have that ability. Maybe one of these days. Take care. Love ya. Bye-bye.